In this quick video tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to turn a photograph into a stencil. So here I am in Artrage, and the first thing I need to do is get my photograph. So I'm going to quickly flip over to my web browser, and I'm looking at one of many of the texture sites that we looked at in class. You could go online and just type in free texture sites. I have posted a Google Doc that has a bunch of my personal favorite texture sites that are completely free, and that list will be updated and added with some new variety as time goes on. So make sure to check that out instead of just blindly searching. I'm going to go ahead and download this one. It's got a lot of nice character. So I'm going to right click, save image as, and probably a very good idea is, since you're going to be starting to get into this, is to make a texture folder. And so I would go ahead and go to the desktop. I would come down here and do new folder. Now remember, if your screen looks like this, you can expand it. New folder. Now if you want to take it a step further, you can go ahead and make a new folder inside the textures folder and make categories for metal, stone, wood, brick, you name it. Okay. And I do always recommend that you do start numbering your textures, just in case you start downloading multiple versions, and that way you can get organized. Okay, so once the texture is downloaded, I need to import it into Artrage. So I'm going to do File, and I can't do Open Painting. That's a lot of people get confused there because it's not open, and it's not a painting. You can't just open it up. That's only for Artrage files. So I have two other choices. I can either import the image file or import it to layer. If I import it to layer, it's going to come into these canvases dimensions, and it's going to be stuck inside this particular canvas with its dimensions, and then I will have to resize it to whatever size I want. Instead, what you want is just import image file. I'm going to say don't save. And then it opens up with the images dimensions, and you can see it's less rectangular. Okay, so now the image is here. Now I need to turn it into a black and white or grayscale image. So I'm going to come up to the Edit menu, and I'm going to choose Adjust Layer Colors, and I'm going to take the color slider all the way down to the left. You'll see that it has reduced. I'm going to play around with the contrast and the brightness a little bit. There we go. You want to be careful, don't go too extreme. I do think a lot of times you do want some shades of gray in there. So you have to experiment a little bit. Okay, now that I've got this, now I need to export this version of it. So I'm going to do File, Export Image File. I'm going to leave it as a ping, so it's high quality. Now I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll just go ahead and add a BW here so I know it's the black and white version. Now you could go ahead and make another folder that has only the black and whites, but that's completely up to you. Okay, so now that it's saved, I can actually turn it into a stencil. Okay, so now that I've got my canvas and I've got my stencils panel open, I'm going to choose which category or group over here on the left I want it to go into, and I might as well go ahead and put it into textures. That makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and choose Import Stencil, find the black and white version, and hit open. And you see nothing else happens except boom, right here. Click on it and there it is. It's there. I can now right click and drag to move it around. If I hold down the command key and right click, I can resize it. If I hold down the option key and click, I can rotate it. You can actually use a command and left click as well. So if you're using a stylus, you can just hold down command with your non-drawing hand, and there you go, and option to rotate. And that's pretty much it. Now the beauty is that whatever brush you have, you can go ahead and just use your stencil and get the benefits of both worlds. You get the stencil and you get the brush, the medium characteristics. So very cool. And when you start to think about how many different texture sites are out there, the flexibility and the artistry, what you can come up with, is pretty darn incredible. So that's about it. And there you go. You can see you've got a really fantastic texture, so go out and find some good stuff. All right, good luck.